So if you could just state your name and then tell us why you decided to run for the school board.
My name is Brooke Crosby, and I decided to run for school board because I wanted to continue to make a difference in the students who live in Ravenswood City School District. I want to make a difference in their lives.
Was there a particular issue or something that compelled you to run?
There has been a growing unrest and uneasiness, and it seems like some of the things that could be addressed include communication and more transparency. And so, yeah, those are the reasons.
Where do you think the unrest and the uneasiness is coming from, or what caused it?
I think there has to do a lot of unrest with the superintendent, who's currently running the school board or running the school district, and so I'm here to get in on the race.
What do you see as the single most pressing issue facing Ravenswood today?
The single most pressing issue is the budget. The budget. Unfortunately, money controls everything, and right now there's dire need for funding, and so that's the approach we'll probably have to come in at.
So if you're elected, what specifically would you advocate for? Are there ideas you have for addressing the budget?
Yeah, I'd want to take a look at the budget more in depth. So I know that they share like the PowerPoints and like where they say they're going to take the money from in those areas and those kinds of things. So I would want to take a look at that because I know that there are some areas that sometimes maybe aren't looked at, and it may be just kind of brushed across instead of really looking at deep on how we might be able to fund things differently. So for example, that some of the non-public school students, they use a taxi to go to school, which is quite costly when the district could pick up that cost. So figuring out a way to make sure that happens so that we can save money to possibly go towards teacher raises and all of those things that we need.
Okay. Of actions you've seen the current school board take over the last 2 or so years, what is one that you take particularly strong disagreement with? And what would you have done differently if you were on the board at the time?
A lot of decisions that are made. No, I'm just kidding. So, because it's odd because when I worked there, you can't be a school board member, and so you're aware of some issues. And so as a school board member, I'm not sure I would be aware of those same issues. So the example that I want to tell you about is about having enough people to, having full staff, being fully staffed. So with the teachers and paraprofessionals. So I would want to ensure that all of those positions were filled.
So was there a specific decision that the board made that impacted?
Well, I'm not sure, because at the beginning of the school year last year, as I say we, the Department of Special Education had ready numbers of all the students who are returning and who would need aid support, and the whole school year went by with some schools not being fully staffed with aid support, and I don't understand that. And the board should be fully aware that they aren't fully staffed, and so then why aren't they digging deeper? What do we need to do to make sure our kids are fully, the students are fully staffed, or the schools are, so we have proper supervision and everybody can learn.
And there is this clear sense of distrust or the unease that you mentioned in the community and among teachers and parents, and sort of distrust of the school board and of the district office and district leadership. If you're elected, what would you do to rebuild that trust and bring people together who have differing viewpoints?
Okay, I work in special education, and so oftentimes I have a perspective that maybe people don't agree with, and so I kind of have to convince them to come along with me and try it out before they believe it, and they're like, oh yeah, that works, woo, and so over the years I've gotten pretty good at it. I've made lots of friends throughout the district, lots of teachers who I didn't even work with, but that I know through other teachers, and then we've worked at different professional developments together, and I've taught them. And that's how. You have to get out there and make relationships. You have to, you know, let people know what you care about so that way you can do something with it.
And do you think there is sort of a healing that needs to happen regardless of who's elected in November?
Yeah, I think that, sure. I mean, just have to like move on and breathe and let's go. We got some work to do. These kids, we don't have time. Well, you know, like I'm all about like building the trust, but that comes with communication. So, you know, like it's all hand in hand. So, that's kind of how I built my reputation, is by, you know, saying what I mean and meaning what I say and following through with what I'm saying I'm going to do.
Is there anything else about your background or your candidacy that you would want the voters to know?
Well, I've worked in the district for the last 5 years, so I've come to know the families and the demographic very well, and I am an all-inclusive educator, and so that means that I don't care if you're disabled, I don't care what race you are, I don't care if you're, you know, transgender, that like everybody brings something to the table. And so all the people that I work with, I exude it, and so everybody knows that I'm there for all kids.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.